Hello YouTube family, welcome to or welcome back to my channel. If this is your first time here, my name is Sharita and welcome. And in today's video, we are getting into powdery fragrances. Who are my powdery fragrance girlies out there? Because nothing makes me feel more feminine than a powdery fragrance. If you generally don't vibe with them, I still highly encourage you to check out this list, maybe get a few samples because these are amazing fragrances. They are all powder bombs, so to speak. So if you are in the market for one, no matter what time of year, because a lot of these are quite versatile, then I think you would absolutely enjoy today's list. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right in. This first one on the list, I think people will put into the category of fall winter because it is chocolatey. However, this is one that I really don't mind wearing all year. It's very powdery. It's a little cocoa. It's lots of vanilla and a touch of orange, baby. And this is Orchid Vanille, and this is from the house of Van Cleef and ARPELS. This fragrance I bought years ago when I first really got into my fragrance journey. And at first, it just wasn't giving in the performance department. As it sat in age, it really does give much better performance. I get something actually a little long wearing. People definitely smell this on me. It's one I overspray, but if you are in the mood for something comforting and cozy, even if it is like summertime, I still pull for this fragrance. That's the thing about powdery. Even if something is a little sweeter, if it's normally relegated for these different seasons, they are going to be wearable all year just because of the balance that it adds to a fragrance. Typically, you're not going to get powdery, overly sweet. This is so beautiful. And if you have never tried it, you want something with that chocolatey vanilla facet that wears with a quality of chic and elegance, then this is one I highly recommend you check out. This is going to be the gourmand for my posh girlies for sure. Orchid Vanille opens with notes of mandarin and lychee. You have middle notes of violet, Bulgarian rose, bitter almond, and you have base notes of vanilla absolute, tonka bean, and cedar. A stunning fragrance, quite frankly, and because it is a little older, you can get this at discounters to save a lot of money because even though Van Cleef and ARPELS, they're considered designer, they design jewelry, the fragrances are a bit pricey. So just keep that in mind, but sample it if you can. I think this is a gorgeous vanilla chocolatey powdery fragrance. And again, this one is Orchid Vanille. This next one is a powdery fragrance that I rant and rave about all the time, as summer approaches. Well, summer is here now. Happy summer, you guys. But Purey Door is an ode to summer, but also powdery. And typically we don't think summer and powdery, we don't put them together, when we're thinking of fragrance combinations. But this is just that. It's all about that Tahitian flower and it is super, super powdery. And so what you're going to get is something that feels brilliant and luminous, but also very sophisticated and powdery. And this is giving 5-star vacation. Honey, we have got somewhere to be this evening, like a yacht. That's the vibe that I get from this. I mean, she is just, honey, we are definitely giving 35 and up in here. And I love this scent. The dent absolutely demonstrates my love for this fragrance. But if you are looking for a fragrance that is unique, it is powdery, perfect for summer. She's checking all of the boxes. So Purey Door opens with notes of tiare flower and jasmine. You have middle notes of iris and musk, and you have base notes of sandalwood and Madagascar vanilla. The vanilla is adding just a touch of sweetness to this fragrance, just enough so that it doesn't come off as something really dry and dusty and boring. The sandalwood, very creamy sandalwood. So this creamy sandalwood paired with this gorgeous iris, that is giving you something powdery, but also in a creamy way. It is a very, very, very finely milled powder. Is the vibe that she's giving. So don't think dusty, think powdery, creamy. I think that this really does speak to summer because you have a Madagascar vanilla and you are pairing it with that tiare flower. Tiare is a gardenia-esque flower, but very, very summer tropical vibes is the quality that it lends to a fragrance. And if you are looking for a gorgeous white floral that is perfect for high heat, that really puts you in the vacation mindset, then that is the floral that you need to seek out when you're looking looking at these fragrances. Also, I find that it's a white floral that is not overly strong, heady, and headache inducing. So just a favorite in my collection, you guys. Again, this one is from the house of MIZENSIR, and this is Purey Door. This next fragrance is from the house of Spirit of Kings, and this is Akamar. This is from Master Perfumer, the nose of Mr. Christian Provenzano, and this fragrance is all about a gorgeous powdery rose patchouli mix. The patchouli is very, very, very well done in this fragrance, to where it's not going to overpower the scent or you know, try to even play second fiddle. I really do think this fragrance is much more about the purple florals and that rose. So if you're looking for a gorgeous feminine powdery rose that also has like this bright citrus quality to it, again, balancing that citrus, that powdery, we are giving perfect for spring and summer. This can go in that category of signature scent, like if you're really a rose girly, but this to me is really going to shine this time of year. Again, it's powdery, so it's going to make you feel fresh, clean, but also giving that stunning rose vibe that we know and love if you're a rose girly. So even though this is powdery, I think it's equally musky. A lot of times powdery and musky, they can interplay on each other. They can give a very similar texture to fragrances, but this has a healthy dose of both. So when I tell you, you have got to love powdery, you have got to love powdery musky combos, that is exactly the texture that this has, and you just got to either vibe with that type of fragrance texture or you don't. But if you're watching this video, chances are, honey, that's your thing. Beautiful take on a rose, you know, that is musky. So this one opens with notes of bergamot and lemon. You have middle notes of rose, patchouli, and violet, and you have middle notes of musk and amber. I think earlier I said iris and rose. I meant violet and rose if I misspoke. So violet lovers, rose lovers, honey, check it out. You will die for this fragrance, and it has a beautiful sillage and excellent longevity. Again, this one is Akamar from the house of Spirit of Kings. This next fragrance is a designer from my favorite nose, Mr. Quinton Beach, and this is a feature in the Atelier des Fleurs collection. If you're not familiar with this, it's almost like a privé line for CHLOÉ. These fragrances are going to focus typically on a singular note, and they're going to make that note a the star, and everything else is just kind of backing up that note. So when I heard that Quinton, number one, had a fragrance centered around the vanilla orchid, I had to have it. This was a blind buy for me, and it was an instant love at first sniff. So this fragrance, again, it features that vanilla orchid, so you're going to get something that wears very powdery. Vanilla orchid is definitely a powdery wearing floral, and it really does speak to that. It has the most beautiful, smooth spices in this fragrance. They're unnamed spices, but they are not something that are going to be jarring, and everything is just this beautiful, like fluffy, almost like this musky powdery texture, or there's a flow to this that is really hard to describe, because it's just like everything is like this even keel. The spices are not overpowering. The powdery quality of it is just perfection, and you're going to feel so angelic when you put this on. This one is giving light feminine energy all day, and this is a scent that is going to give timeless, classic. Someone 21 years old can put this on, feel very chic. At the same time, I feel like if my mom wore this, she could absolutely just stun in this fragrance. Very classic take on a vanilla fragrance, not gourmand. There's a sweetness to it, but this is all about, again, the vanilla orchid, some really soft woods, really soft spices. So it's one that you can put on. You don't have to overthink it. Just put it on, honey. You want to smell feminine? You want to smell powdery? You want a touch of vanilla? CHLOÉ's Vanilla Planifolia is the ticket. So again, this one is from the Atelier des Fleurs collection from CHLOÉ, and absolutely one you need to get your nose on. So next is another fragrance that, again, in that musky powdery territory, but this is for someone who doesn't want a sweet fragrance. I'm a sweet fragrance girly, but I understand that a lot of people do not want to smell like that, and this is going to be perfect for high heat. This is Nothing But Sea and Sky, and this is one of those fragrances that really will give you like this transportive experience. We are either, you know, sitting on the beach, the sky is very, very just bright, it's open, the breeze is just touching your face. We are at a good 78 degrees, so it's not super hot, honey, and it's not too cool to be on the beach. It's perfect weather, and there is like this relaxing quality, vacation quality that I get from here without it getting into that tropical territory. This is for my fresh, clean, I want to smell very put together fragrance girlies. That is the category I put this into because it's almost like this clean white wood feel coupled with this like sea experience, but not in that sea salty marine funky quality type of way. So Nothing But Sea and Sky has a very simple note breakdown. They mentioned bergamot in the top, sandalwood in the mid, and white musk in the base, and that really is what you're getting. You're getting lots of creamy sandalwood, you're getting a gorgeous clean musk. Think some really freshly washed folded hotel, like 5-star hotel towels, honey, you know. Or you can think maybe like really soft, really high like thread count white sheets, freshly folded and put away, and there's just a little heat still left on them. That's the vibe I get from this. It's so beautiful. I think this is one of the first fragrances that said, okay, I can do fresher fragrances. Something addictive about it. And I think it's also, you know, just the way the sandalwood comes off in here. Creamy, addictive, clean. Okay, that's the vibe. That is the vibe. So if you're in the market for a gorgeous sandalwood fragrance that wears white, clean, just fresh, this is it. This is absolutely one of the best that I own. If you are into fragrances like, I would say Le Papier from Boutique, you would absolutely love this fragrance. They're not the same. There's a little less going on in here, but I would say maybe a little creamier and even cleaner right here. Love it. Again, Nothing But Sea and Sky from the house of NUIT Nomade. Last but not least is a gourmand. You know, I had to put a beautiful musky gourmand on here, but this gourmand is so sophisticated, honey. She can be a signature scent. I have raved about Marshmallow Musk for some time, since it came out on my channel, and I don't know, like, am I the only one that is obsessed with this fragrance? Maybe because I started off with just the full bottle experience. I know a lot of people are sampling, getting their little 2 mils. Baby, you got to put this thing on. When you put this fragrance on and you wear it throughout your day, you are going to get so many compliments. Self-compliments and compliments from other people, because when I put this on, I'm constantly like, oh my God, I feel so pretty and powdery and feminine and just like all of the vibes in this bottle. You're getting vanilla, you're getting marshmallow, you're getting musk, you are getting powdery. You're just all of the things that I love about beautiful, sweet, feminine, but elevated. That is Marshmallow Musk. That is how I would describe the baby right here in this bottle. So for me, this is above all powder. You've got to love powdery, which is why you're watching this video. So if you know you're confident in your powdery wearing fragrances, then I really don't think you can go wrong with this, because the lavender is not overdoing it. This is the softest lavender in my entire collection. And this really, really, really does speak to femininity like nothing else. So a lot of the times we will see lavender show up in fragrances that will give a masculine edge, that are just very aromatic, very masculine, and just something that is a little bit more bold. Not here. This is very soft, okay? Very soft and refined. You are opening with magnolia petals, Eau Grey tea, and lavender. You have middle notes of marshmallow, jasmine, and iris, and you have base notes of musk, powdery notes, vanilla, and woody notes. Just beautifully balanced. Okay, this woman is very confident, but light feminine energy, so she doesn't have to make that known. I mean, she just is there, honey. That's all that is required, is her presence. And I'm obsessed. I have been obsessed since I got it. I get so many people complimenting me on this fragrance. So when you really like give it a good overspray, I feel like the sillage on this will be there if you spray it at least a good like 10 to 15 times. Everyone is going to smell this on you. And for me personally, I get about moderate wear. I would say 5-6 hours. We're good. Like, you're going to be able to smell it. You're not going to have to search and find the scent. Spray your clothes, spray your skin, get your life, get your compliments. That is what the girl is giving, all right? So again, this one is from the house of REVERIE, and this is Marshmallow Musk. That's it for me today, you guys. Be sure that you are subscribed to the channel. Drop me a line below and let me know some of your favorite powder bombs that we love to pull out this time of year, because summer is when I really gravitate towards my powdery, because it helps me to feel that much more fresh and clean as this humidity kicks the heck up, which it is doing right now in Atlanta. So be sure that you are subscribed. I love you all, YouTube, and I will catch you guys on the next one.